All right, hello. Um, Drawing time with Dan today. I'm going to just show you something um, about why this upcoming 9/1 date. Okay, so if you've seen some of my recent videos, we've been looking at the date, the 1st of September, St. Giles's Day, as a pretty prominent date for something interesting maybe to happen. Maybe in terms of World War III even. It could be possibly that interesting. I don't know. Anyway, what I want to do is I want to show you just a couple of things, and we need to be able to draw to be able to show you that. Okay, so pi. The first thing is um, the symbol of pi. Well, actually, let's start with just the word pi. Okay, and if I put so there's pi. Okay, this word. Okay, let's do a mirror line here. Okay, we use the blue for the mirror line because, of course, one of the earliest mirrors that people would have seen would have been the reflection from the surface of water. Okay, and henceforth, not necessarily just for that reason, but we associate the mirror or the metaphysical side of reality, the spiritual side of reality, the mirror of the physical side of reality, if you will, with water, okay, and the moon, and so forth and so on. Anyway, we got the word pi there. We've just made the I a little bit bigger. Okay, so pi. If we just do the mirror of that now, there's our mirror. Okay, the number 19. Okay, which again in most of the world, the first could be, you could have the 1st of September out of that. Okay, the number 19. Okay, makes me think of old Paul Hardcastle. No, 19. Anyway, where am I going with this, Dan? Come on. So what's interesting about this is in Back to the Future we have we have the clock tower, okay, and the lightning strike. The lightning comes down, hits the top of the clock tower, comes across the road, and then what we see is we've got the fire trails from the DeLorean, okay, and then we've got the Western Auto sign, and so it gives us the 911, okay. But mixed up in these bits and bobs here, mixed up in them, is the pi symbol, okay. That's part of that symbolism there, the pi symbol, okay. Now what I've shown you in other decodes is that this line that comes down, that carries the lightning at the start of the scene, where they're just about to do the lightning strike, just before Marty gives Doc the letter, or at least Doc finds the letter. Doc is talking about everything being fine. Okay, the lightning is going to come down, the exact moment, blah blah blah, and you're going to be jetted back to 1985, and everything will be fine. Okay. Well, at the start of that scene, we actually see the line connected up to a pole that is very close to the barber pole number 1. Okay, the sign for the barber shop. So 9/1, and then actually in this coloration as well, is right there on the side of the buildings. Okay, and in at least 2 instances we see it, connected, okay, in that scene via the end of the line. Yeah, the end of the line right here and right here. So the end of the line. Okay, so if that's making sense to you, we also have this pi symbol being created right there. So isn't this interesting that in Back to the Future we have these two numbers referenced with the end of the line, and our mirror is pi. Now don't forget, what Marty's about to do while he's in the DeLorean, you know, he is just about to. Sorry, not a very good DeLorean. He is just about to cross through this mirror line. Okay, he's going to come out of one side of reality back home. Yeah, almost, you know, almost like the dream state in 1955 back to reality 1985. Okay, so I thought that was, you know, I mean, it's all interesting, isn't it? Anyway, so that's our mirror pi date. Now, something that has come to my attention is that, I've mentioned this a few times, is that I'm seeing a lot of palindromic numbers around this date, around the 1st of September. One of those palindromic numbers, the main big one, is actually World War II, okay, which is the 1st of September, so however you want to write it, 9/1/39, okay, through to this year's 9/1 date, so 9/1/25. And while we're on the subject of 25, if you look at the gematria for the word pi, it's 25. Okay, so pi equals 25. 25 is referenced at the start of Back to the Future a number of times. Okay, right in the first 10 minutes, there's loads of references to the number 25. Anyway, this number jump here is pretty interesting because it's 3, 1, 4, 1, 3. Okay, and of course 314 being again pi. Okay. Oh dear. So it's super interesting anyway. If you can see where I'm going with this. See, this number has a natural symmetry from the center out, the 314 and the 314. If you look, 314 in, 314. Okay, so it's a mirrored number. Okay, the palindromic number is a mirrored number. Again, just like we're looking at this idea of pi and the number 19. Okay, now just out of interest, pi is on the dollar bill. 91 or 19 is also on the dollar bill. When I say pi is on the dollar bill, I'm talking about the word pi. Okay, so I need to do that. I will do that decode. I tried to do it tonight. Okay, I've been so busy with other stuff, I just haven't had time. But I'll try and do the dollar bill decode. But anyway, so this date here, are we looking at potential? I don't know, World War III maybe, or at least something interesting to happen that would connect us back with this. Now, just done a lot of stuff on Titanic, and in fact, right around this date, Titanic will be, I believe it was 41413 days, maybe. And obviously, if you go on one extra day to the second, we're on to 41414, which is interesting with Titanic, because Titanic is all about the 104 when it first set sail. Yeah, the 10th of April. Its yard number was 401. Yada yada yada. So this is really interesting, and again, Titanic has the same symbolism. The 4 funnels with the boat shape. This is at the Hoover Dam. Essentially, the Hoover Dam is the sunken Titanic. Anyway, I think I'll leave it there for this one. I'm going to do a follow-up video to this because there's some interesting stuff, and I'll do a very short little video from here on out, explaining a couple of other interesting number jumps. But I just want to keep these videos short. Okay, thanks for watching. Right, cheers, bye.